Welcome back to Shade Tech Radio, and thank you for listening. This is episode 2. I'm your host, Dead Sock Puppet. With me is my co-host and founder of the forums, Ginter.
How's it going, everybody? Ginter here.
So let's get right into it. Today we have a special guest for you guys, HawkShot.
What's up, guys?
Thank you for stopping by. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself on what you do specifically for the forums?
I don't know. How do you want me to tell this? Do you want me to tell you how I became a moderator, or what did I just do in my...
Both.
A little bit of both, yeah.
A little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
So, I guess I'm going to combine one of the questionnaires, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Kind of concerns of how I discovered the division. I discovered the division in summer of 2015. I participated in the closed beta, which is January of 2016. Right after that, I came across the division forums. I can't remember how. It was probably a Google search. I was trying to find the official forums. Right, of course, people will come across the division forums and think we are that.
We are second on Google.
We are second. That's still good enough for us. And
well, you can't beat UB, so.
Well, we can't beat them at their own game, because then they're going to be like, you guys got to shut down.
Yeah, they'll shut me down for using their logos and stuff.
Exactly. Right.
Exactly. They're like, get rid of the shirts right now.
Yeah.
So, and I actually, I was responding to a topic of what other games were we playing until the division came out. I mentioned the real-time strategy Company of Heroes. Ginter replied to that, said he had it. We ended up playing a couple games of that. I swiped the floor with them. No, I'm kidding. Ginter is suing. I'm going to get fired after this. Wait. You're fired already. You're fired. You got to do it in a Trump voice.
You're fired. I can't do Trump.
You're fired.
You're fired. I like that.
In March, he just sent me a message one day and was like, hey, you're a moderator now. Don't do stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done anything stupid yet, I don't think, because he hasn't fired.
Yeah, I have an impeccable sense of good character in people, so.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree.
Impeccable.
Not to toot my own horn, but...
To toot my own horn, but I'm pretty amazing.
Toot away.
Yeah. So I don't reply to a whole lot now. I reply to stuff in the PC agent-to-agent support forum.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's good.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the first nice thing he said to me all night. I
like your hat.
Yeah, that's also true, America.
That's a nice hat.
I tend to reply to introductions in the Shade Tech Radio, obviously.
Right.
That's kind of what I do now. I stay in the background for the most part.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. So now that we've kind of got.
Nice. You're really the only one without a hat at this point.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
You're gonna kick out of the hat club here.
Use Cartman.
I have Cartman, so. So now that we got a little idea what you do for the forums, we're going to kind of go on to the questionnaire that we answered last time. Just get an idea of what kind of gamer you are, how you came to gaming, things like that. So, first question on the list is, what's the first game you ever played? Is it an arcade game, a console game, PC? Just give us an idea on that.
I don't think I actually remember the very first game I played, just because I was so young.
Right.
But the earliest games I can remember are probably stuff like Sonic the Hedgehog and Cabela's Big Game Hunter or whatever it was called on the PlayStation 2.
Okay. So what's your favorite game all time? Oh, do you have a question, Ginter?
No, I was just remembering this Disney Sega Genesis game where you had a magic carp. And you could play as either Mickey or Donald. You know what I'm talking about? Like Mickey's Magic Ride.
Oh, I was expecting an Aladdin reference there.
Yeah,
Flying carpet tends to be his sort of deal.
No, I don't play games. I'm just kidding.
Moving along.
Unless it's Call of Duty, or something. Where I'm.
That's fine.
Ginter just playing the pew pew pews.
America.
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 So again, what would you say your favorite game is all time?
That's too hard though. FPS wise, it would be Battlefield 3.
Okay.
RTS would probably be Company of Heroes,
What
and then
about
RPG
Battlefield
MMO, The Division. Battlefield 4 just isn't as good as 3 though. I'm not on as bored I
That's
don't
fair.
know.
That's fair.
Battlefield 4 that I just can't get on with.
I like Counter-Strike Source over Counter-Strike Go.
Oh,
I don't play either of them. I played Counter-Strike Go, and I was like, nope, I'm done. I can't play
It's
this.
terrible, dude. You gotta play Counter-Strike Source.
Well, I suppose that's what I'll be doing here soon then.
We should do that. You too, DSP.
Yeah, I have to get a computer that I can play that on first.
Oh yeah, you're a PS4 gamer.
Smoke him out. We'll smoke him out.
Hashtag PS4 Master Race.
No.
No, PC.
No,
PC.
dude. PC.
PC wins every time.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so what's your favorite type of game to play?
FPS, RTS, first-person shooter, real-time strategy.
Okay. So tell us something odd or unique about yourself.
Oh, that's hard. I think just by listening to this, you can already tell that I'm all over the place. Is that good enough to know?
I really like his voice.
Oh, thank you. I do sound older than I am.
Yeah.
And I can get away with that.
He's got a killer voice.
I know. Well, I've actually had people tell me before, even like years ago, they're just like, you have like a radio voice. You gotta go into something like radio.
That's why I thought of you as soon as I was like, let's see, who should we have for a guest? Oh, HawkShot, of course.
He did mention
burn down our operation. You know what? HawkShot seems like it'd be pretty good to do that.
Burn things down? No, dude, things are going splendidly right now.
You have to wait until the end. That's when I just like set off everything.
All these F-bombs you're gonna drop.
I'm gonna drop MOABs. just spreading them around. It's gonna be the end of both of you. The unique thing, I'm going to go with. I am a huge World War II buff. I think that's what my answer is.
That's cool. I like that.
Okay.
World War II buff.
So does that mean you're really looking forward to the next Call of Duty? Despite the fact that it's Call of Duty?
I'm not sure if my PC will run it. I'm going to have to look at the minimum requirements, but I very much hope to play that. Very much.
Okay. Cool. Well, and as you kind of answered earlier how you came to the division when you were talking about what you do for the forum, so I think we'll just kind of move into some game info with this week's Intelligence Annex. So Yannick was away for State of the Game, so it was pretty much just Hamish, although he did decide to bring in his boy Gabe. So Gabe, who most recently got moved to a different portion of Ubi, came back to hang out. State of the Game was really short. What?
Yeah, I just noticed his canteen.
just Ganter, he's just like.
That's cool. I'm sorry, DSB. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay, that's fine. I noticed it a while ago, so I've just been whatever.
Why don't you say anything?
You got to be more observant, kid.
You're right. My bad.
So.
Get back. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
They specifically mentioned that they weren't going to talk about 1.7, that more details on that should be coming down the road. But they did go through the fact that there are a lot of bugs and issues with 1.6.1, most of which, or a good chunk of them, should have been fixed with this most recent maintenance. But one of the big things that they stressed with bugs and glitches is that they want video recordings sent to the official forums, and not just of the glitch, but they would like recordings of before and through the glitch and after, so they can kind of see what's leading up to it, because oftentimes they say what is heading into the glitch is what may cause it or be something that they need. So, but that's pretty much all they talked about. Very short, very to the point. They also released episode 22 of their game podcast that they did a recap on ETF Charlie, but since everything's pretty much under NDA, it was a lot of vague comments and, oh, but you remember this and you remember that. And so not too much information, but anybody that's been out there in the Twitters has seen lots of videos by content creators past and current ETF members have been posting up information as much as they can. So it sounds like we should be getting some more coming here soon. So do you guys have anything else to add to any news, anything else I might have missed in the last week here?
People are really enjoying the loadouts and all that. That's pretty cool. I too am. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. That's good information. People should definitely check out those patch notes. It's a long list, but give those a chance shot from the last update. And, they're on the Division forums in the announcements section. They're also there on the front page at the top where it shows like important posts. So yeah, give that a look, folks.
I'm gonna add on to the loadout comment, if I may.
Yeah.
I think there's two things about that I guess are criticisms from me.
Let's hear 'em.
The whole like you have to pick a pre-supplied name. Is that the word I want to use? Right. I would like to use custom names. It's not a huge deal, but I feel like I would like to do that.
Yeah, DSP, you had actually mentioned that last time.
Yeah, right. And then the whole not being able to switch it in combat. I think that was like what I was kind of looking forward to, is because like if I get stuck into a situation that I need to get out of, an SMG and get over to a rifle, and I don't have it on me at that current time.
Right.
I need to get over to it. So I don't know. I feel like that defeated the purpose of loadouts for me.
That was done intentionally, and if I remember right, it was one of those things that was geared towards PvP.
Right.
If you get into a circle jerk in PvP and someone, drops one set of skills and then immediately flips over to a different loadout, they wanted to avoid that kind of stuff so that, it's just, again, it's one of those one of those things where they have to cater to the PvP, and then unfortunately it rolls into the PvE portion of the game. So I don't remember. It had something to do with that, specifically with PvP battles. I don't remember the exact reasoning on it, but when I know when I went through it, I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to change. That's that's the way they want the game set up. So
right,
makes sense. It does make sense actually for PvP.
Yeah, for PvP, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe just make it so it's deactivated in the dark zone. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's right. It's something that they could go to possibly. I think that there's other things that they're trying to work on, other bigger concerns. If that gets enough community push behind it, maybe it might be something that comes along. It took us, over a year to get loadouts. We still have yet to get clan support. So, it's just a lot of it kind of depends on how easy it is within the current system to do that. So
the clan's coming back, man.
People are going to have a heyday with that.
Yeah.
What I just said?
Well, I'm sure somebody's going to make a meme out of you at some point.
Oh, that would be so cool. I'd be so stoked on that. I post myself on 4chan all the time, hoping to become a meme.
So anyways, last week we briefly talked about our thoughts on year 2 and kind of where the game is for incursions. So this week we're going to try to cover 2 topics. We'll see how this goes. First topic here is kind of leads into what we were just talking about, is what does Massive need to do to keep the current players but bring new players to the game, or new money to the game? So why don't we get some thoughts from either of you guys here? I don't know if Ginter or HawkShot, as the guest, if you want to start off.
Let's let Hawk go here.
All right. So I think primarily, like, incursions wise, I don't really play with a lot of people. I tend to do solo on everything. I would like to see maybe like incursion difficulty, like a new difficulty that's slightly lower than challenging, because I'm killed off immediately in challenging.
Yeah,
there's no
you're
way.
baddie too, so.
Well, I can't deny that, but I won't confirm it either. So maybe just like add a like hard, challenging, and so on.
Okay.
I think I would like to see that. And also for people who just want to ease into incursions. I think challenging may be too big of a jump for like newer players who are trying to get into incursions.
Specifically geared towards solo players, like a difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would, I feel like that would
makes
probably
sense.
be.
The game pushes you to squad up.
Yes, definitely.
It pushes you to be friendly and put yourself out there, to meet new people, which that's one of the big things I really liked about the game was that because I'm a social butterfly. I love meeting new people and I like talking to people, and I really enjoyed a lot of time when I would play with random people, unless of course until they stabbed me in the back and stole my stuff.
Exactly.
Which happens.
And you're like, you know what? I'm done.
All the time in that game. You can be like, the best friends with some random people you just met. They could be like, oh yeah, I can tell them. You can be telling about that, telling them about your kids and like what you're gonna have for dinner tonight, and just all of a sudden they can just like turn on you, man. Just like it's vicious. It's a vicious world out there, But that's my point, basically.
My question is, why are you my question is, why are you telling people what you're eating for dinner? Like, is that the thing you immediately go towards?
Yeah,
hey,
I tell people that all the time.
You know what I'm eating tonight?
I had for lunch, I had dumplings with rice. So good, dude. I cooked it myself.
I went to an art festival, so it was all sorts of different foods and stuff like
Was
that.
it all vegan food?
No, it's not all vegan food.
No,
none of it was vegan stuff.
From everybody else.
I'm sorry.
They put a fence around it.
I like stereotyping. I love baby back barbecue ribs. I can eat a whole rack of baby barbecue ribs, and I'm shameless about it. There's food all over my face. I always ruin white shirts going to barbecue joints because and I always wear white t-shirts. I'm like so basic. I just wear blue jeans and a white t-shirt and my Reagan Bush 84 hat at all times.
It's standard Ginter gear.
That is standard Ginter gear.
Oh.
We've played games together before. Don't you know how to pronounce my name?
I know. I just do it purposely. I do everything purposely.
I can see you doing that. HawkShot.
Wow.
Ooh, we're gonna have to talk about this after podcast.
So, do you have any other things that you'd suggest to Massive, Hawk?
No, I'll leave it there.
All right. Ginter, you have any suggestions?
I would recommend that they first off acknowledge our existence, as in the Division forums existence. That is something that they should do. Yeah, repping the shirt there. They should acknowledge our existence. And as for gameplay, I think, and this is just me being one of those people who don't like being coddled, I think that they coddle their player base too much, and they're like, oh, you guys aren't getting enough high end items and green items. Okay, here, boom, here's 1,000 of them. I know you got to search for the right stats, and it's hard to find the right stats, but I was really big into Diablo 3 for a while, and man, you have to grind so hard to find set items in that game, especially what you're looking for. So hard, man. But you know what? When you found it, it was it felt so good. It felt like you just wanted to cry. You were just like, oh my god, I found it! You go out and you pour a glass of good scotch and you celebrate.
To kind of respond to that, I think part of the reason why they do that is because you have that mix of your hardcore gamers that are going to be on playing 20, 30 hours a week, that are going to be playing, that can put the time in to get, if you have a less rewarding system that they can get the gear that they're looking for. Whereas if you have a more casual player, someone that plays, 5 to 10 hours a week, kind of like how I play, if I have to grind for weeks to get one item, it kind of becomes something I'm like, well, do I really want to do that for a handful of weeks just to get the piece that I want? And then by that time, a patch or an update or something comes out, it changes, it's not as good. There's some issue with it. So I think that's part of what it is that they're trying to balance the more casual gamer with the hardcore gamer, kind of like how they're trying to balance PvE with PvP. So
I absolutely agree with that.
Not to rain on your parade, but that's kind of my thought process on that. And like I said, I can see either way, but I think if you go that route, you change your player base.
I think you'd also get it's also more beginner friendly too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we should reward filthy casuals then.
Hey.
We pay for our games too.
I'm totally a filthy casual. So, I used to not be. I used to religiously play video games. Like, oh my god, too much.
And then we all got lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have a life, but I just got so much work I do now. And then when I was in the League of Assassins for a while, and then with Razan Ghul and all that stuff. You can read it in my bio. If you want.
All that
Arrow
good stuff.
reference?
That's all true.
All that
by
good
the
stuff
way.
out there. Yeah. This is all true. So, did you have anything else that you wanted to add, Ginter?
No, you know what? I think Ubi's doing a fantastic job. They need to stop making Watchdog games.
That's a completely different universe, and you just crossed over into their domain.
That's not true. It's actually a shared universe.
I did hear that too. That they do come from the same universe. I'm trying to.
And that the Division Watch Dogs do.
And yes, actually, all of their games come out of the same universe.
I've only heard that Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed are in the same. I didn't realize they were all in the same.
Didn't you notice the Splinter Cell goggles in the Boo?
Yeah, I got that.
Why don't you go ahead and watch The Game Theorist? Go to YouTube and watch The Game Theorist, and he'll tell you why they're all in the same universe.
Right, and that's how I learned about the Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed.
I think I sent you that video.
Yeah, because I had heard the reference of Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, and Division all being on the same, and it makes sense to toss the Splinter Cell in there.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool. I love extended universe crap. Like Marvel's totally got me hooked on their stupid movies because it's so. I love shared universe. Love it. Cannot love it more. And then Justice League. Oh, I'm so excited.
So are you into the whole quantum theory, alternate universes thing?
I am definitely.
I love that. I love that
me
theory.
Too, man. That stuff. There are, in fact, an infinite amount of alternative realities that we live in. There's one where I say the F word right now, and there's one where Hawk is a woman, and there's one where
it's true.
There's one where
that may or may not be in this universe. This may just be a costume, but I'm not admitting to anything.
Well, I just also said there's one where you're a man as well.
Wow.
No comment.
All right. So back to
him and
back
I.
to
okay.
the show.
Him and I jab at each other constantly. Oh yeah, we're doing a show. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I've got a couple different suggestions or some things that I think would probably be helpful, both to bring in players and to keep current players. Specifically for keeping current players, I think they need to get 1.7 and 1.8 out as soon as possible. I think end of the summer for 1.7 might be a little too late because I think they need to have 1.8 out maybe October at the latest, with Destiny 2 coming out in September. If they get too much behind that game, they could lose player base that doesn't come back. I think that they can do some stuff to update or put some more functionality or new modes into the DLC that they currently have. Last Stand and Survive Survival gets some pretty decent play. Underground gets no love from nobody. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential with that. It's got a really neat system, great assets. They just need to kind of come back and think, what else they could do with it. And as for possibly bringing in some new players, I think the free weekends that they do for the game are great. I think they should do them maybe a little bit more often. Maybe it's every couple months, or maybe 1 month they do PS4, 1 month they do Xbox, 1 month they do PC, and kind of rotate through. But I think they should open up the entire game, including the DLCs, not just the vanilla game. The last time that they did it, it was the vanilla game, and it was as far as you could progress in the game. And then if you did buy the game, you got to keep all your progression and everything. But I think that they should have the whole game open, so you can see, if I buy everything, this is what I can get. And kind of along those lines, I think they should offer a little bit of discount for players that are going to buy the game and the season pass. I think they could bring in some more money with that. More revenue means that they have more to put towards updates, new content, things like that. So, and the last thing is that they've been promising PTS for console, and it should be coming for 1.7. I think if they don't have it for 1.7, there's going to be a lot of bitterness and salt from the console players. I think there's a lot of things that come up in the PTS. The PC players get to play, they get those fixed. Then when they come to the console, then you have to deal with updates and patches after the initial release, because it's stuff that you can't find until they actually start playing it. So that's my take. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on those.
PC Master Race. That's what my thought is.
Well,
it's just like telepathic communication.
I figured as much. I mean, I understand that the consoles.
The console definitely. We definitely need to bring in more console.
I mean,
is what we're trying to say. Because there's still a untapped player base there.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it should be released on the Wii. And
What's the Wii? What's that?
Version. Yeah, it's the console. It's the console that runs Super Smash Brothers.
I was gonna say, I think Sheldon on Big Bang Theory said it best. Okay, Grandma.
Oh man, I love Sheldon.
Oh. So the next thing we're kind of move into is tips, tricks, advice for new players when they're coming to the division. So someone that's just picking it up for the first time, or possibly even someone that played maybe a little bit at the beginning, has played just basically vanilla and hasn't come back and seen where the game currently is. So, Hawk, what kind of thoughts do you have for them?
I think the first thing I would say is DPS is not all that matters. I realize for new players, it's like, oh, this one has more DPS, I should switch to this. Yes and no.
Mm-hmm. I agree with
that. For weapons more like shotguns and DMRs, marksman rifles, I feel like damage is going to do you more good there, while DPS is going to be better for automatic weapons, assault rifles, LMGs, machine guns. That's also a good thing to do, but I wouldn't think that is. I wouldn't look at that as your first priority.
Dude, I was critting like 47% of the time, and just mopping fools, dude.
And a lot of that has to do with your play style. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's play style. I mean, it's just with the stats. Like, it's really important for you new guys to tweak your stats, use the recalibration. You want to save your cash and your Phoenix credits for those end game items to recalibrate. You don't want to be recalibrating everything. You don't want to be spending money on something. You're still leveling to 30. Don't spend any money on recalibration until you get to 30, and until you're getting end game items, because it's going to end up costing you a lot of money to recalibrate. So that's something to keep in mind when you're buying things from the Phoenix vendors. Make sure you're buying the more expensive, especially the mods. You want to buy the more expensive mods because they're the ones that are give you the best stats. And you're definitely going to want to make sure that, because I made that mistake where I spend a bunch of Phoenix credits on lower the lower tier
Mhm.
mods, and I'm like, oh man, I'm only getting 100 and whatever firearms out of this thing when I could be getting 200 something out of this one, and it wasn't even that much more finish credits, and I was like, damn. So basically, my main point is don't spend too much cash until you get to 30 and you're buying end game items, because you're gonna pick up better items along the way. In fact, I wouldn't buy anything,
Especially from the missions.
Mhm.
Especially from the missions.
I wouldn't buy anything until end game. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't spend any of your money until you're freaking 30. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Do you have anything else to add, Hawk?
Yeah, I think I'll add something else on. If you were coming into the game with, like, you want to get everything, you want to get all the intel, you want to complete everything that there is, I would go for the perk in the security wing. I believe it's called the Canine Unit? Yeah.
I love the Canine Unit.
I love that thing. That will, once you clear out a district, that will bring up all your intel. So you can go after that. You don't have to go running around the place.
Yep.
Because I do that. I'm a completionist. Absolutely.
Completionist, okay.
Same here,
Yep.
Yeah.
Got to clear the fog of war.
Exactly.
Got to get all those the cell phones and the freaking
Right. Or if you clear
drones.
district by district, I've also done
That's the best way
that.
to do it. That's
Mhm.
why you get the canine. Yeah, that's why you
Exactly.
said that. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So, my personal thing is that if you're playing it for the first time, especially the 1 through 30, don't rush. You get people that'll come on and they'll say, "Oh, I want to help level," or "I want someone to help take me." Yeah,
Speed level.
Right.
Yeah.
I refuse to power level people if it's the first character, first time playing through the game. I'm like, I will play with you. I will be a support role. I will follow your lead, but I want them to experience the game, to see the missions for the first time, to pick up the intel, to explore the maps, see how beautiful they are, to see how in depth they are. Yeah, see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, get into the
to
story
get the
more
echoes.
too.
Yeah,
It's a good story.
Yeah,
I want them to
echoes,
get into
too.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
I want them to get into that lore. And that's something that I think a lot of people go, "Oh, I just want to get to 30 where the real game begins." Be like, no,
Yeah, that's good
there's
advice.
really two games here. There's a really good storyline, 1 through 30, and then there's a solid end game multiplayer and whatnot once you hit 30. So, the other thing is when I'm playing, when I was playing my first character, and I always suggest this to other people, is 1 through 30, play all different types of weapons, gear, skills, mix it all up just so you can kind of feel how they work with your play style, so that way when you get to level 30, I like this skill, I like these types of weapons, so that you have an idea where you want to go, what you want to do, what gear you want to look for. And kind of like what Hawk said, fully explore the maps. I mean, go into the buildings that you can, check them all out. You get clothing, you get weapons, you get materials, you get supplies that you need to upgrade your base of operations. You want to explore those, and you want to clear out all of those like side missions and events and all that stuff typically before doing missions, the main story missions, because by doing that you get your character geared up and leveled up. Because I hear a lot of people go, "Oh, I just got open in this area, tried to play the mission, and I kept dying." Like, well, that's because the mission's designed to be on the high end of the level when you get into that area, and you don't get to that if you don't go through all the material in that area. And besides, then once you hit level 30, you need to clear all that stuff out anyways to get your intel to do HVTs, so you might as well do it while you're playing through the game the first time.
Yeah. So basically, take your time, newbies.
Mhm,
Enjoy the
yeah.
game. Don't try to rush to 30 because it's going to be there. It's not going to go away. You'll get there and you'll find your end game items, and you'll do the underground, and you'll do last stand. You all that stuff's going to be there. So take your time, enjoy the story, enjoy the ride, and yeah, it's good advice.
Yep.
It's good advice.
So unless you guys have anything to add on either of our topics here, I think we're going to head into the next segment here. Any additional thoughts, concerns, comments?
No, I think
Yeah.
that's pretty much covered. You know, try not to make your character, you know, as ugly as sin. Like the you know, they pretty much can't. You can't help that, unfortunately.
Right.
Just to support the developers. You know, buy their little DLC packs with the clothes and stuff. You know, these are fun, and you can intermix them and make cool. You know, make your character unique with the clothing. That's one thing I love about the game is the unique, you know, clothing thing, and there's always pretty cool too. You can make yourself look pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it pretty much. Just have fun.
Cool. Any last words, Hawk?
No, I mean, the Ginger made a good point with the customization, though. I like the customization very much.
Yeah.
Although, going back a little bit, maybe they should add something where after we complete endgame, we can make slight changes.
To like your hair and stuff.
Possibly,
and, like, take your
yeah,
glasses
possibly.
off, maybe, you know, change your makeup.
So now we're back to the quote-unquote
exactly.
barber shop.
I told you I would destroy your show eventually.
No. That's
It's
a good
just
point.
starting up. It's just starting up.
It's a good point, but everybody's already made it. You know, that's something that they should have done in the first update. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go. Let's move on.
All right. So we're still working on trying to come up with a unique segment for the show. So if you guys if you have any thoughts, concerns, anything that we could possibly go to or something you'd like us to see on a regular basis, you know, tweet us at either Division Forums or Shade Tech Radio, or you can send us an email to shadetechradio@thedivisionforums.com, or you can post on the Division Forums itself. We're just kind of looking for a neat idea, something that would be unique to the show that we try to do every week. So if you guys have anything, just please feel free to put that out there. So moving right along, we're going to head right into the Division Forum. So just wanted to give the listeners here a little bit of feedback on what we got from our initial show, a little bit of comments on Twitter, some comments on SoundCloud. So just read through a couple comments, shout out to some players, some listeners here. So Maverick Player on SoundCloud posted up that the podcast is real laid back and a chill podcast. He really enjoyed it. He said, great job, and he's looking forward to more episodes. Binary Numb on Twitter posted up, hey, listen to your show. I'm excited to see you guys do more.
Let me get the next one.
Okay.
This is from I Just Chill on Twitter. Great podcast, guys. You had a good flow for your first episode. Looking forward to hear it progress. Love the intro music.
There's been a lot of comments on that intro music.
Dude,
The first time I heard that, I couldn't help but just laugh. It's a good way to start off.
It's beautiful.
It is. It really
Well, we
is.
wanted something.
George, you know?
Yeah, we wanted something that was different. I mean, you know, a lot of the podcasts come out and it's like audio from the game or things like that, and it's like, what am I listening to? Let's find out.
Let's add some humor in there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, some
It's everything
spice,
without
man.
you.
That's what it's
So
about.
the last comment that I got is from the captain on Twitter. He says it's hot, so go give them a listen, agents, and we appreciate all your guys' feedback.
I like that. That's sexy.
Yeah, exactly. So
Where are you getting these comments from?
I'm pulling most of the stuff's pulled from Twitter, either comments that were sent to me or sent to the actual Shade Tech Twitter account.
Okay, cool.
Stuff on SoundCloud. So that kind of leads us to.
I want to follow
go ahead.
them, so I'm saying I want to follow them, so I want to, because I love hearing feedback. You know.
Well, and that kind of leads. Nice. So that kind of leads us down to the next point. So if you do like the show, if you do like what you hear, please either like us or sub. Feel free to give us a review so we can know what we're doing good, what we need to change, what your just general thoughts are. You know, should we just close up shop, which probably isn't going to happen. We're going to just talk right through you, but just kind of give us some feedback so we know where we're going. So ultimately, this is a podcast for the fans here, for the community of the game. So we want to make sure that we're actually giving back what you guys want. So that pretty much wraps up the show here. So HawkShot, why don't you tell the listeners where they can reach you?
Absolutely. So you can contact me You can pretty much find me on anything. If I have an account, you'll find it by _HawkShot. I am very active on Twitter and Instagram, though, so those are probably the best places to get a hold of me. Or you can get a hold of me on the Division forums, where I'm just HawkShot. Plain and simple.
Cool. So as we've mentioned, our cast is sponsored by the Division Forums. It's a fan site for all things Division. You can check it out.
Your Twitch?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. If you like seeing people who are terrible at games,
really bad,
you absolutely
like this guy, too terrible.
See, we're all just a band of misfits here. Yeah. That's also just the _HawkShot.
Cool. DSB, you start streaming, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I stream at twitch.tv/DeadSockPuppet. Yep.
Okay.
So.
Is it a backslash? I always thought it was a /.
// whatever.
I'm gonna Google the difference here.
Well, so as I was saying, we are sponsored by the divisionforums.com. So you can follow us. Yep, right there on the shirts there.
It is a /.
Come on. Okay, // I apologize.
Get it right.
So
you can even manage your own podcast.
So you can join the divisionforums.com and get harassed by the three of us as you try to post legitimate questions and concerns. Mm-hmm. You can also follow us on at Division Forums on Twitter. The show has recently just set up a Twitter account, which is at ShadeTech Radio. We also have a new website, ShadeTechRadio.com. You can see it pictured up in the top right-hand corner of the screen here. For those of you that are watching the video, has some great bios on Ginter and myself. It'll have the episodes posted up there. We'll kind of add more content to it as we go. If you need to email us, you can reach us at shadetechradio@thedivisionforums.com. If you want to, yep, there you go. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach me at @deadsockpuppet_ or on the Division Forums. If you go to my Twitter, it has links to my personal email and Twitch. Yes, look at that guy. One sexy bitch.
Right? Jesus Christ.
So
I won't tell you what I do with that photo.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to know.
Everybody's going to be using that photo.
He throws darts at it.
I would too if I had to look at that, just out of pure jealousy of that sexy SOB in that picture, man.
Okay.
He probably represents his country too.
So Ginter, how can the listeners reach you?
They can reach me on my Twitter at G1NT3R. They can reach me at my other Twitter, which is actually run by Deadman, at Division Forums. Or on the divisionforums.com. You can post on there. Alternatively, you can call me at
1-800 the chicken is burning.
There you go.
He's always on call.
I like that. But no, you can reach me at those places, and you could comment on the shadetechradio.com site. There's all kinds of places to reach me. You can just call my name and I'll be there.
There you go. Just put the Ginter signal up and you show up.
The Ginter signal, exactly.
Yep,
I like
there you go. So we got the podcast can be found on iTunes or SoundCloud. Both can be linked to from either thedivisionforums.com or shadetechradio.com. Mm-hmm. We'd like to hear back from you, so please give us a comments, reviews, likes, and subs if you are interested in what you hear here. And finally, we'd just like to say thank you for listening. This has been Shade Tech Radio, reminding you to keep an eye on your Shade Tech agents, and we'll see you when you take back New York.
Hawk, do you have some kind of goodbye message to people?
No, I don't do that stuff. Okay, I come back whenever.
Say goodbye then.
Do I have to? Oh,
yes,
fine. Goodbye. Oh,
okay.
That was I only did it for Ginter.
Thank you. Anyway,
he's still salty.
Agents, watch your 6. That means watch your back. Goodbye.